Welcome back to another video, or welcome if you haven't been here before. You may have clicked on this video because you're experiencing some anxiety, and I really think that this video will have something for you if that's the case. But no matter why you clicked, I just hope this can be a few peaceful moments out of your day, and I'm so glad that you're here. My last video, I talked about the really bad anxiety that I've been having lately and showed some kind of in the moment things I do to calm myself down. And today I wanted to kind of continue that topic and show some more broad general things that have proven to be really good methods for managing my anxiety over the years. So for me, that has to do with like what I do in my free time, my hobbies. So you'll be seeing some gardening and painting. But no matter what those things are for you, this video is really just a place for us to connect over the universally awful experience that is anxiety and overthinking. Good morning, everybody. So I am sitting in front of my compost that was just delivered. I'm going to be filling up my beds today, and I'm very, very excited about it. So I think I might have ordered a little too much. We're gonna see. You've already seen, if you watched my last or a couple videos ago, and if you're tuning into this one, you're going to see that I am doing raised bed gardening. I have some galvanized raised beds that I'll be planting in, but I did want to quickly talk about and just remind everyone that if you're interested in getting started in gardening, please remember that like it doesn't have to be this huge upfront investment. In fact, that's really not what gardening is about at all. Gardening should be accessible for everybody, and you really don't need anything to get started other than a patch of space in full sun and the soil that you have available to you. I think gardening has just become so popularized and it's very much like shown as this very aesthetic, very manicured thing. It's often the kind of gardens that you see on social media, and I think it's gotten very overcomplicated as well. So my background is I worked on an urban farm for a year, and I taught kids how to garden. I was an outdoor educator. So our whole message is just that anybody can do this, and growing your own food should be accessible. The reason I'm growing in raised beds is because here at Dustin's, my boyfriend's house, he lives in a neighborhood that has an HOA. So I live in an apartment. I don't have space to do my own gardening, but he's letting me do some gardening in his backyard, which is really awesome. But his HOA does not allow people to put plants, garden directly into the ground, which I think is really silly, but you know, that's just the way that it is. And so our way around that is to do raised beds, and we are not asking permission to do this. So really what we're trying to do is make sure we keep it looking pretty nice. And we also had to do the raised beds. I would have loved to not have to do that. I read an article recently that was about how the carbon offsetting potential of home gardening has actually been a little bit diminished by how much infrastructure people are buying to start their own home gardens, namely from raised beds. I don't know, I just think it's important to remind y'all that like if you're interested in gardening, you don't need all that stuff to get started. This is just kind of the situation that I have, and my plan is to use those raised beds until the absolute end of their life, and to eventually put a garden directly into the ground. This is turning very sideways. So yeah, I just wanted to quickly chat about that, and I'm gonna show you the process of me filling these beds. It's gonna take me a few hours probably to wheel all the dirt back there. But the first thing I'm gonna do is lay some cardboard in the bottom of my beds. So let's just go and get started on this process that is gonna be very long and very tiring. I recently started watercoloring for the first time, and this is less about watercoloring itself and more about having an artistic hobby. For me, having things that are going to bring me a release rather than things that require me to absorb a lot of new information, that's really the most helpful thing. I have a habit of choosing really intellectually demanding hobbies or just hobbies with a high learning curve, and those are great for when you want to challenge yourself, but when I'm experiencing a lot of anxiety, they're just not very helpful. I need those things that I can pick up. I know I'm not going to get frustrated, and there's not so much intimidation to get started, and watercoloring has been one of those things. And I've talked in the past about drawing mandalas as well, and how that the repetition involved is really key here as well. So drawing the same line over and over, or painting the same petal again and again, you can get into that really absorbed place with what you're doing, and that's when that anxiety finally releases. So these are the things that work for me. No matter what those things are for you, just remember repetition and allow yourself to do what comes naturally to you. I feel like I can already see like some improvement just in like learning how to put a little bit more detail in things, and I might go back in this one too and even fill in a little bit more. But yeah, anyway, also I just realized I forgot to put leaves on it, so I'll probably put leaves on it at some point too. But I'm just having so much fun with watercoloring. I made a video a while back about balancing hobbies with work. And in that video, I kind of talked about the really important reframe that I have to do to be able to like understand that a hobby does not have to be synonymous with a super well-developed skill. And honestly, it was just about like allowing myself to be bad at stuff and still letting myself enjoy the things I like to do, even if there's a learning curve, or even if I'm not quote unquote good at it. And really just allowing myself to enjoy the process of things more. When it comes to hobbies lately and the things I'm doing in my free time, I've just been really focusing on like the things that bring me the most joy and kind of the things that like have the most bang for their buck, like things that are low risk, high reward. Painting, so doing watercoloring has been just like a really nice thing to do lately. And then obviously gardening has been huge. My anxiety is really high. Connecting with nature, getting outside is pretty much the best thing that I can do. I love gardening because like it's just such a hands-on way to connect with nature, and there's such a sense of accomplishment that comes with it. And I know in my last video about hobbies, I talked more so about like just enjoying the process and not pressuring yourself to produce something out of it, or like not pressuring yourself to or not always being so attached to the end result, just enjoying the process. I might kind of contradict that a little bit right now, but that is also really important. There's definitely a place for that, and I have certain hobbies where like that is the mindset I absolutely have to have. But I think when it comes to like relieving anxiety and activities I do to relieve anxiety, sometimes it is helpful for me to do things that have a result attached to them, or something that can make me feel accomplished in the end. So gardening, for example, I love because it's so simple, but I can pop a seed in the ground and a few days later I see that seed sprouts, and then, you know, when it comes time to harvest whatever it is that I grew, you know, I can like say I did that. Like there's such a sense of accomplishment. And when I'm feeling the most anxiety is usually when my self-worth is the absolute worst. So those little wins, like those little ways to feel accomplished, just make me feel better about myself. They make me have a better outlook on my life. So like, I do tend to focus on the things that are like still very simple, but help me just feel like I've done something. And again, like that's not always the mindset you need to have when you're doing things in your free time, but like for me, when it comes to anxiety, it's just helpful. Watercoloring has surprisingly been like one of those things as well, because the learning curve for me has been like surprisingly low, and it's really easy to like paint a whole picture in one sitting. Those little wins like boost my confidence a lot. I don't know if you guys ever feel this way, but like sometimes I get really frustrated because lots of wind. It's getting kind of chilly too. I feel frustrated at times with how much I still experience anxiety despite, you know, doing all the things that I feel like I should be doing to combat it. So I eat well, I exercise, I go outside, I have fulfillment in my job, I do things I enjoy in my free time, I have friends, and I do social things, and I have a healthy relationship, and I get good sleep, like I even take medication. Like sometimes it's just kind of like, damn, like what else can I do? And what I usually find is what it really comes down to is I'm feeling a lack of connection with myself. I'm feeling a lack of slowing down, quieting down, and tuning into myself. And so when I'm able to incorporate like little things that help me do that, that's when I start to really see the benefits of that and all the other stuff I do to try and take care of myself. So yeah, for me, gardening and painting are just two examples of that. I am gonna get going, and I will see you in the next section of the video. My mom is really the person that inspired such a love for gardening in me. She is an extremely talented gardener, and when I first started this garden, I was getting really stressed out about it, and I was talking to her and saying that I just felt nervous about it not being a success, whatever that means. And she just gave me the good reminder that like it can't be stressful. You have to allow yourself to just enjoy the process, because you're inevitably going to make mistakes. things are not going to go as planned, and it's just one big experiment. And for me, that is something I run into all the time. And like, you can do all of the anxiety relieving activities you want, but if they're not accompanied by more positive self-talk and just allowing yourself to actually get to the place where you feel that you deserve to enjoy yourself, they don't always do that much good. And I hope this video could be a small reminder of that. But no matter what brought you here today, I'm just so happy that you joined me, and I am so appreciative of you being here as always. And I will see you very soon in the next one.